everybody, my name is Ashton.
And my name is Xander.
And we're your hosts for this series called
Say What?
In this series, we're talking about the incredible statements that Jesus made while he was on earth. These statements made everyone around him say
what?
Today we're talking about how Jesus said nothing is impossible.
Nothing?
That's right. Hold on. Hello? Are you serious? Okay, I'll be right there. Xander, I need you to take it from here. My grandma needs my help. The metal plate in her head keeps picking up satellite signals and she thinks she's on Wheel of Fortune. She keeps trying to buy a vowel.
For real?
I'll be right back. Just tell him about how Jesus said nothing is impossible.
Okay, well, I guess we're back here again. Jesus said nothing is impossible. So that means nothing is impossible. Now how can I apply that to everyday life? I got it! Come with me! So I was watching YouTube the other day and I saw a dude surfing behind a boat. It was pretty cool. I mean, he's doing some pretty amazing stuff on that water. But I thought, that's nothing. Anybody can surf on water. I'm gonna surf on cement. That's right. I'm gonna take this surfboard and I'm gonna let this car pull me down the street and I'm gonna surf on this cement like a boss. Alright, I'm ready to go. Now, I know what you're thinking. Xander, it's impossible to surf on concrete. Well, not according to Jesus. Jesus said nothing is impossible.
What in the world are you doing?
I'm teaching the kids about nothing is impossible. Duh.
Are you serious? This is not what Jesus was talking about.
It's not? He didn't want me to surf on concrete?
What? No. Jesus said with God nothing is impossible. He didn't want us to go out doing crazy things that could end up getting us killed. He wanted us to know that we can trust him and that he can do miracles.
Oh, like when someone is sick, we can believe God to heal them.
Exactly. And when it seems like we're going through impossible things in life, we can know that God is more powerful than anything. He can do the impossible.
Well, that makes a whole lot more sense than surfing behind a car.
You got that right.
Of course I did. I'm awesome like that.
Well, we better let you get to your lesson today. You're going to learn all about how Jesus did a miracle that seemed impossible, but he proved that with God, nothing is impossible.
Hey, you better hurry. It's time to go. Wait, driver, I wasn't talking about you.
I better go help him. Until next time, I'm Ashton.
And I'm Xander.
We'll see you next time on Say What? Xander?
My name's Squealy McGee. I am an auto mechanic down here at the Busted Knuckle Garage. You know, I love working on cars and trucks. You know why? Because I like using them power tools. Yeah, I sure do. Listen, speaking of power, the whole reason why I'm even here is to teach you the big old power verse. Today's power verse says, what is impossible for people is possible with God. Luke 18:27. Hot dog, that is an awesome power verse right there. You know what, I think I might need a little help today learning this power verse. So why don't we get the boys to stand on up with old Squealy and let's do it all together on the count of three. All right, boys, here we go. 1, 2, 3. What is impossible for people is possible with God. Luke 18:27. Ooh, hey boys, that was slicker than a greased pig. Y'all can sit on down now. Tell you what, I'm gonna get the girls to stand up and y'all are gonna help Squealy this time, okay? Girls, stand on up on the count of three. We're gonna do it together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. What is impossible for people is possible with God. Luke 18:27. Ooh, that was great. Y'all sounded as country as cornflakes on that one. Y'all sit on down now, okay? You know, that power verse, it teaches us something very important. It teaches us that nothing is impossible for God. You know, I was arguing with my buddy Rusty the other day. He's the other mechanic that works here at the Busted Knuckle Garage. He said it was impossible for me to change 4 tires in less than 60 seconds. Now, I gotta admit, I was a little worried about it myself. So I got down on my knees and I prayed that God would help me to change those 4 tires in record time. And do you know what? I changed all 4 tires in 57 seconds. Woo! I was faster than a jackrabbit with a brass fiddle. Old Rusty, he suddenly believed that God was God and that he could do the impossible. And you know what's true? Ain't nothing impossible for God. Well, anyway, I tell you what would make me happier than a possum in a corn crib with the dog tied up is if you guys would stand all up, all of you boys and girls, and say the power verse with old Squealy McGee. All together now on the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. What is impossible for people is possible with God. Luke 18:27. Great job, everybody. Y'all can sit on down. Now, listen. It's about time for me to get on to working on my next car, all right? So I'm going to have to let y'all go. I got to get back to my power tools. Whoo, yeah. So until next time, this is Squealy McGee saying, later on. Woo! What's up, everybody? It's me, the S-K-I to the double T-L-E-S. Skittles in the hizzy, and I'm ready to tell you what's up. Today, we're talking about the amazing power of God. So every time today that somebody asks you, what's up? You tell them. With God, nothing is impossible. God has done a lot of things that are impossible for man to do. Because you know, man can't turn water into wine. What you have here, ladies and gentlemen, is just a regular container of H2O. Poof. Oh man, it's a cat. Plus, Jesus walked on the water, raised the dead, and did so many things that to us seem impossible. So you gotta remember that even though it's impossible for man, nothing's impossible for God. So anytime somebody asks you, what's up? You tell them. With God, nothing is impossible. And that's what's up. I got a rainbow flavor, and I'm living for my Savior. Skittles out, baby, yeah.
Good morning, my merry muskrats.
Merry muskrats? Whatever. Boys and girls, it's Tammy Twist with the biggest gummy bear I've ever seen.
Don't you just love him? He's my squishy bear. I named him Sergeant Squish.
Why'd you name him that?
Because he's all squishy.
I can see that. What are you going to do with Sergeant Squish?
He helps me come up with tongue twisters, like this one. Sergeant Squish Squishy Squids. Try it 5 times fast.
I'm not really in the mood.
Just do it!
I forget that you do that. Okay, I'll try it. Sergeant Squish squishes squid. Sergeant Squish squishes squid. Sergeant Squish squishes squid. Sergeant Squish squishes squid. Sergeant Squish squishes squid.
Oh, goody! Did you like that, Sergeant Squish? Oh, stop it. I don't speak Chinese.
Tammy, didn't you say you have a problem eating so much sugar?
My Aunt Gretchen says so, yeah.
How much sugar have you had today?
Not enough. I'm okay now. Sergeant Squish is delicious. Oh, that's another one. Sergeant Squish is delish. Sergeant Squish is delish.
Tammy, we all love your visits, but we need to get on with today's lesson. We're talking about how nothing is impossible.
What's that, Sergeant Squish? You don't mind your leg being chewed on? That's so sweet of you. Ha, sweet, literally. Oh, I got another tongue twister. Sergeant Squish's sweet feet. Sergeant.
Did you just hear a single word that I said?
Of course not. Sergeant Squish did though. He said, today we're talking about how nothing is impossible with God.
Yes, that's true. But I'm not going to talk to a gummy bear. That's way too silly.
Just do it.
Yikes. Okay. Sergeant Squish, did you say that nothing is impossible with God?
That's right. God's power is greater.
That's actually true. God's the most powerful force in the universe. If we're up against something that seems impossible, just go to God. He can take on any problem you face.
Uh-oh, what if my Aunt Gretchen is sick? God can handle it. What if I have a really tough test coming up? God can handle it. What if I accidentally open up a black hole on Earth and is about to get sucked into a dimension ruled by goats? Are you crazy? I said God can handle it. Wow, for someone so sweet, you sure are a grumbling gut.
That was insane. But I can't believe I'm saying this. The gummy bear is right.
Wow, Sergeant Squish is so smart. That's another twister. Super Sergeant Smart Squish. This is the best day ever. I can't wait for what's next.
What's next for you and Sergeant Squish?
I'm gonna eat them. Yeah. Oh, we can talk about this. Silence. I'll see you boys and girls later. Until next time, this is Tammy Twist telling you toodaloo.
Bye.
Today's Bible story is found in the book of Mark, chapter 9. Jesus was teaching a large crowd of people just like he often did. People loved to come listen to Jesus teach about God's love. A man came out of the crowd and spoke to Jesus. Jesus, my son is possessed by an evil spirit that won't let him talk. The evil spirit will often throw my son to the ground, and then my son foams at the mouth. Jesus told the man, bring the boy to me. The father brought his son to Jesus. His son looked terrible because he had an evil spirit living inside of him. He had been this way for a long time. The father was desperate for his son to be healed. He said to Jesus, help him if you can. Jesus said, if I can, everything is possible for him who believes. Wow. Jesus was saying that for anyone who believes in the power of God, nothing is impossible. That's pretty amazing. Jesus immediately spoke to the evil spirit that was inside the boy. Listen, you evil spirit, I command you to come out of this child and never enter him again. The crowd fell silent, waiting to see what would happen. The evil spirit fought, but he was no match for Jesus. The boy let out a scream as the evil spirit left his body. The boy laid on the ground motionless. The crowd thought he was dead, but Jesus knew better. Jesus took the boy by the hand and helped him up off the ground. He gave the boy back to his father, who rejoiced that Jesus had healed his son. Jesus proved that nothing is impossible for God. In your lesson today, we are going to learn that even when things seem impossible with man, God is able to do much more things than we could ever imagine. His power is greater than anything. With man, it seems impossible. With God, nothing seems impossible. Today I have a challenge for you. I need you to go get 2 pieces of paper and a pair of scissors. Go ahead and hit pause until you get them and join me back. Okay, you're back. I challenge you to take these scissors and cut a hole in this piece of paper big enough for your entire body to fit through. Go ahead and try that real quick. It's kind of hard, huh? That's a really good challenge. No matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to cut a single hole in this piece of paper big enough to fit your entire body through. Looks like this challenge is impossible, huh? You're right, it seems impossible, but I want you to watch and see that it's definitely possible. So I want you to get your second piece of paper, and I want you to fold it in half long ways, okay? So we're gonna do that together. So your paper should look like this. Now, I want you to get your scissors, and on the flap that is still closed, I want you to cut all the way, but don't go too far. It's still got to be closed. So I want you to cut a slit like that. Now I want you to go on the opposite side and cut a slit like this, but don't go all the way, and keep doing that the entire time. So we're going to just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And if you are not going as fast as I am, that is fine. Just go ahead and push pause until you get there. Okay, once you're to this point, I want you to take your piece of paper, and on the side that was cut in half, you leave the first one there, but I want you to cut this one open. So we're gonna cut that open. We're gonna cut the next one open. We're gonna cut this next one open and keep cutting them open, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what we got. Now, is this paper big enough for somebody to step into? I think so. See, it's not impossible. Now, it certainly seems impossible at first, huh? But that's because we were looking at it from our own perspective. I knew something you didn't know, so it wasn't impossible for me. Guess what? Many things are like that with God also. Many things seem impossible to us as human beings. Walking on water, impossible. Creating the world just by speaking a word out loud, impossible. Raising someone from the dead, impossible. All of these things are impossible for human beings. But guess what? Jesus did all of these things. What is impossible with man is not impossible with God. Do you know why? It's because God's power is greater than sickness. That's why it's not impossible for God to heal us when we are sick. God's power is greater than death. That's why it is not impossible for God to raise the dead. God's power is greater than depression and sadness. That's why it's possible for God to fill us with joy when we are sad. It doesn't matter what you face in life. God's power is greater than anything. Remember our Bible story today. Jesus healed the little boy from the evil spirit that was torturing him. The father had come to Jesus and said, "If you can help my son," the father wasn't sure Jesus' power was strong enough. So he said, "If you can help." What did Jesus prove? He proved there are no ifs with Jesus. There are no reasons to ever say, if God can do this or if God can do that, God can do anything. There is nothing that is impossible for God. Take that if right out of your vocabulary. There are no ifs with Jesus. You can trust him to do whatever you need. All you need to know is if you have faith in Jesus, nothing is impossible. If you have faith and you trust and believe that Jesus is able, then all things are possible. That people who has been sick for a long time, don't quit praying for them. Have faith in Jesus. Nothing is impossible. That kid at your school that is always mean to you and you think they could never change, don't quit praying for them. Have faith in Jesus. Nothing is impossible. Jesus is able to do so many things that we think are impossible. Never doubt his power. Just trust in him. Have faith in him. He will never let you down. He can do the impossible.